Here we are in Snapshot. Let's take a look at the new intelligent search capability. Now, this interface is an administrative thinking and research partner that will answer any type of question about your org. So, for example, we could ask, show me the fields in a certain object, and it'll show you all of the fields. Now you could say, show me the validation rules in that object, and it'll list out the validation rules. Now this one's kind of interesting. Let's dive into that. What does that rule do? And it'll give you a detailed answer on exactly how that rule works. Now let's go a little deeper. Look at that object for GDPR problems. And just like that, it'll zoom in on the social security number field. It'll talk about the compliance group and security classification for that field and give you a detailed analysis of to what extent that field is obeying GDPR and what things you might need to change. Now we could ask, how do I change this validation rule? And your intelligent assistant will direct you to the setup menu and tell you exactly how to make changes in that validation rule. All right, let's change the topic, and you should hit the clear button when you do that to start with a new context. Show me my role hierarchy. And just like that, I can get my role hierarchy. And now look at the hierarchy and tell me about any problems or inconsistencies. And just like that, it finds a few things. For example, the director of channel sales has a parent role of VP International Sales, creates a hierarchy where a higher level role is a child of a lower level role. Let's change the context again. Show me my Apex classes. And now I can see all of my classes, when they're created, last modified, everything like that. I can pick anyone out and say, please analyze this Apex class for code quality. And just like that, it gives me a complete code quality report on that particular class. So this is a really useful way to get any type of answer you need out of your org. Let me show you some other things you can do. We're just currently focused on metadata, but we can also focus on objects, and this really gives us object schema instead of metadata. So now I could ask a question, for example, to write a difficult SOQL query. Please write a SOQL query that finds accounts who have a contact that lives in New York. And just like that, it'll construct this rather difficult query right here. And of course, you can export that, do whatever you need to do with that at that point. So lastly, you can also focus on org management. And this really tells you about best practices. And so, for example, we could say, remove unused fields and pick lists, and your administrative thinking partner gives you a complete set of instructions on how to get started with that, references you to one of the Metazoa white papers, and of course you could now ask a follow-up question at this point. For example, how do I manage data sets? And it gives you a number of steps to follow. All right, that's a quick look at the intelligent search capability for Snapshot.